Welcome to Shivering Timbers Dojo. Today we're going to start our deep dive into Green Belt Tip 6. Today we're going to do from the fingers and the wrist. So we got two techniques from the fingers. They're both from defending against gyaku shigarami. So you've got your arms stretched out across their shoulder. They're grabbing your fingers, and we are going to attack back with some joint locks and with a throw that doesn't work because it's Green Belt. So on to the next bit. Same thing. With the wrist, it's going to look a lot like it did back in tip 5 when they put our wrist halfway. Now the wrist is over, complete vertical wrist flex, and the same thing. We're going to push in and do the vertical wrist flex. And then when they try to counter it, we're going to stop that counter. So let's start with the moves from the gyaku shigarami. From the fingers, this is gyaku shigarami hayazushi ichi. So there's a couple different ways to get to gyaku shigarami. Let's say we've done it from a punch. I've thrown a punch. She blocks it in. She's got the gyaku shigarami. Instead of on this side of the shoulder, the standard shigarami, she's got it on the opposite shoulder. She can still throw me, still break my arm. This is bad. So again, I want to step forward and knock her balance off to pull her back into kotemake tori. She tries to get out of kotemake tori. We turn to the cradle. For whatever reason, the cradle didn't work. We turn in and get this arm bar. They try to straight out, reverse arm bar or hammer lock into the elbow and shoulder bridge. All right, other side. Push up. We turn over. We come to here. We come to here. We come all the way around here, and we're coming in here. Now, people are crying, oh, there's 4 techniques. Why would you do 4 techniques on somebody that's just standing there? Well, we're not. Again, so remember, in Green Belt, the first technique doesn't work for whatever reason, and so we go on to another technique, and then maybe another one, and then maybe another one. In this case, 4 in all. We don't expect that you're going to stand there on the street doing 4 whole techniques unless they've somehow gotten out of all of them, in which case, well, we get to the last one, and we're going to make that thing stick. So there's a couple different ways to get to shigarami. Again, from a punch, fairly common way. Throw that punch, and they block it in and pull right here. This is a bad spot for me. If she get inside, oh yeah, right here, she can hyperextend my elbow just by adding a little pressure. I'll tap. Yep, that's all it takes. That's, again, right to there. That's all it is. And if she kicks her butt back and pushes up, oh, I'm going to fall. Like straight up, I'm going to take the fall with a hyperextended elbow. This is a bad place for me to be. So the way I counter this is I use a little power. Now, again, if I'm trying to use power versus that, as strong as I am with her, like, that's a fight. I'm having to fight this. I don't want to fight this. I'm going to push for it. Ha ha. And so that unbalancing act, that pushing forward and pushing off, is how I get to this without making this about a muscle versus muscle fight. Even somebody who's smaller than me, that is a darn hard position to fight from. Now, I do have an advantage in that she does have her back to me, but because I'm on this side, it's not easy. I can't do hadakshime. I can't go for the choke. So again, I just push forward and get back to here, the kotemake tori. It didn't work. For whatever reason, I missed the turn. She's trying to come back and fight. So if she comes back and fights and stands up, again, cradle. Now, we've talked about this cradle. Here, let's try the other side because I want to show the cradle. We've talked about this cradle before. When we come in here, this is an immediate pop. You can't hold them for long. It's an immediate dislocation. But if it doesn't work and you didn't dislocate, you literally come over and around and get this reverse armbar, hammer lock, chicken wing. The way we make that stick is we pull them up into it. But if it doesn't stick, we're right here. We've already got the shoulder bridge, and we can come right to there. Now you'll notice I took her to the ground. Ultimately, that's where everything winds up. Once we get to brown belt, everything turns into a throw or a ground technique. Ultimately, this is all stand-up jiu-jitsu to get to the ground. How we do it. All right, so one more time, a little more combat-y speedy. You ready? Here, 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 and to here, and down. So remember, we push forward, push that elbow, step forward. My whole stance, my whole body is knocking that off, because then I can just grab here and pull back. Now, if I'm pulled back here, she is off balance, but I didn't get it for whatever reason. So I come right in here, this cradle. Again, she's off balance, but I didn't get it for whatever reason. So I turn. As I turn and I shoot this up, I keep this hand in here and pull in tight. Now, I've got to come over here to lock this in. If I don't manage to lock it in, they'll just come right back out. And then I'm back to the shoulder bridge. And again, I can lock the shoulder bridge in. The way to make it really work is down we go. We put pressure until they eat floor. So again, all of these, we're going to let them put themselves in the move. For instance, I come here, she pushes here. When I push here, they're going to want to stand back up. Okay, look, I've done this. To get herself out of this, she puts her hand back up, which puts me right in spot for the cradle. She pulls out, which puts me right in the spot for here. And then she steps out, which puts me right in the spot to here. So remember, it's not us doing a bunch of stuff to somebody who's unresisting. It's as they resist, we react to it. Keep that in mind. Practice a lot, you'll get it. From the fingers, this is gyaku, shigarami, hayazushi, ni. So the second escape from the gyaku, shigarami. So again, a good way to get to the gyaku, shigarami is maybe from a punch. They've got to here. Now, previously, I stepped in with this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up and I'm going to touch behind the ear. I'm going to touch under the chin. I'm going to clip under the nose. I'm going to grab some eyes. I'm going to, whatever. We talk about pressure points. The pressure point isn't going to end the fight, but it is going to distract them long enough to turn to here. Now in orange belt, my goal from here was the throw. But for whatever reason, they're bigger and stronger than me today. Look at, she's huge. So since she's bigger and stronger than me, and I can't get the throw for whatever reason, I simply grab here and choke. They're already in a bad position. Take the choke. Now there's another thing I can do. We're going to go from the other side. I'm going to go down on my knee and you can choke from there. So again, I reach up behind the ear, smack the temple. I mean, why not punch him? You sure can, but punching sometimes hurts. So if I turn that and grab here, I've got here. I can drop to here and get this choke all day, every day. I'm going to load up for the throw. I'm just going to hold her. This is one of those throws. You can't do it in competition. It is hard to perform gently enough to have your uke work with it. So what do you got to do? You got to work through the steps over and over and over. Repetition's the only way to get it right. So she gets it. I push in. I got to get my hip in. I got to get down. There it is. But it doesn't work. So from here, I literally just work on this. Now I'll tell you, when do you use a throw versus when not to use a throw? This is one of the ones that's actually better for somebody who's smaller. Because if I've got her and I come to here and she pushes that and goes for that choke, oh God. Her weight is already under me and I'm a little big to throw. She may have trouble throwing me because I outweigh her by so much, but boy, she can hold that down and go ahead and get the choke and choke me. I'll tap. Yeah, it's going to suck. Like that and that. Come on. Punch. So I've got to here. Yeah, that's terrible. It's a solid choke from there. If you can't get the throw, get the choke. If she drops to her knees from that choke, I am doomed. It's as simple as that. So, yes, the throw is hard to get. We can practice the throw many times. We come in here, we practice the throw just by loading up and again. And I know from here, like the throw is going to happen as soon as I pop my hips up. It's going to go, but it's going to hurt her neck. So again, we load up and we don't hurt each other. The throw can happen. If the throw doesn't happen, one more time, she's got me. Do it from this side. If the throw doesn't happen, all I got to do is put that hand on top and the neck is exposed. The choke happens fast. Good job. from the wrist. This is tekubi tori hayazushi. Tekubi tori hayazushi looks just like han tekubi tori hayazushi from tip 5. So previously, she had me with my wrist half turned over. Now, she turns the whole thing over. And this is bad for me because all the way turned over, she's going to step back and kick me in the face. Oh, yeah, this is a terrible place for me to be in. I don't want to stay there. This is where we do have to focus on the I-da. I need to move before she locks down completely and kicks me in the in the catcher's mitt there. That's a bad place to be. So I've got her. As she pulls in, I push and put her. Now, again, if she's going to push, I'm going to come to the side. I'm going to grab the thumb, and I can grab the fingies too and pull the whole thing apart. Again, this is not assuming that they're just going to take it. That's what happened in Orange Belt. So in Orange Belt, this happened, this happened, this happened. But now in Green Belt, well, they know what we just did. They're going to push in. So step to the side, get away. Don't let them push at you, and come up under here and grab this thumb. And if you need a little help, again, just grabbing the fingers, boy, it just adds a little bit of stank on it. And it is no fun to have your thumb and fingers pulled apart. No good, no good. All right, so let's do this a little more combat-y speed, shall we? It happens that fast. How do we get to that point? Practice, practice, practice. So again, when she comes in here, I'm pushing here. If I wait and get it too long, it will still work. I just got to key up and make sure that I get enough tension on my wrist not to get taken down to the ground. There's always a danger of that, so don't wait too long. She's got me fully locked up. This sucks. I've got to push in and get it as much as I can, and then I can pull into here. But that put real pressure on my wrist. That put me at a disadvantage. I want to avoid any disadvantage if I possibly can. So as she's coming in, I really want to move now. That's the goal. Now, as she pushes in, look, I just pull it to the side. Aww. I cheated. I said no, and then grabbed the thumb and pulled back. And if she tries to do anything, I grab the fingies here and just rip the whole thing apart. It takes about as much pressure as pulling apart a chicken wing. It works. Other side. Yeah. So come in here. She tries to not let me. So again, right to here, and pull that apart, and right to there. The big thing is working the ida, the space between spaces. You have a space, you have a space. As fast as you clap, there's still a moment between the two positions. Work in that moment. So that was Tedori Jujitsu Green Belt Tip 6 from the fingies and the wrist. And remember, when they're grabbing your fingers for that gyaku, shigarami, it's a bad position to be in. So we're pushing something. You push the arm. As soon as you push that arm, get that lock. Again, we don't expect our uke to just stand there and take it. They are actively working to get out. So practice with some resistance to them actively getting out to go to the next position. They know it's coming, you know it's coming, but practice with that resistance. Be careful though, because again, kote makitori, that cradle, they are easy to pull a joint in the wrong way. Also, when we go for that throw, the throw doesn't work, we go to the choke. Be real careful with that one. It is a throw that absolutely will work as long as you understand the precepts of throwing. The kazushi's broken, you've got the balance, you've got them on the hip. All you got to do is pop the hip up, but you put too much pressure on the neck, so you have to go real easy. You're not going to want to throw from there. And if you can't get the throw, because again, like we demonstrated with a small uke versus, a small tori or nage versus a big uke, yeah, like they're going to have to go for that choke, and it does in fact work quickly. And then the last one, the wrist. It's just like the wrist we did in tip 5. Practice from here. If they're coming to there, come there, and they're going to there. It doesn't matter. You push in. They grab you. You push in and work from there. If you still don't like these, well, come to class. We'll show you why they work. Other than that, stay safe. Thanks.